In 1980, my ex-in-laws from my first marriage asked me to drive them across the states to come and live with them in Glenwood Springs to be a babysitter. I lived 30 miles outside of Aspen, Colorado, and every weekend I would go up there and sing with bands. And I picked one band that I really liked called Blue Sky, and they never had a Southern boy out there. So I was singing with them one night, and all of a sudden one guy came up to me after the show and said, "Hey, there's a friend of mine that wants you to come to his house after the show. Would you mind coming out there?" And I said, "Sure, man, I'm going to meet everybody out here." So I ended up, we drove up beside Basalt, Colorado, and we went up to Woody Creek. So we pulled up into the driveway, and there was a cabin there, and lo and behold, the guy that wanted me to come up there was called Hunter S. Thompson. And I did not realize that's where I was going. So all night long, we sang together, raised hell. Can I say that? Okay. Raised hell together and partied. And it was so cool because we went outside and shot guns off, and we consumed a lot of many materials that I will not discuss at this time. But all I know is that 3 days later, I finally made it home. But it was so funny because I'd read his book, The Hells Angels, and Where the Buffalo Roam was playing at the local theater. And to know that I went all the way across the United States to meet one of the famous persons that I really admired and to sit there and party with him. And I can't tell you everything we did, but I can promise you everything we did was fun. And the smell in that room was the best smell I ever smelled in my life. It was fresh red meat cooked on the grill and other substances. But when I came home the next 3 days later, my in-laws said, "Where in the dickens have you been?" I said, "You'll never believe it. I went out and met Hunter Thompson and partied with him for 3 days." And they said, "Well, we can't believe that either." So you know what? Music will always take you places that you've never dreamed of. If you'd have told me that I would have met him just when I drove across the United States to go out there, I would have never believed you. And that was one of the reasons I hated about leaving, was because he became a good friend of mine, and we kind of hung out together. But he was like always, in that mood, so you always had to be careful, because I knew one time he tied Bill Murray up and threw him in the pool, and I asked him what he was doing. He said, "I'm trying to see if he can swim." But when I came back home, I told my friends about that. They didn't believe me, and I had a picture that somebody had taken there and showed it to everybody, and I was thinking, how about that? I can't believe that I got to party with the party man. And he didn't have just a trunk full of stuff to entertain ourselves with. He had a house full of stuff to entertain with. He couldn't sing worth a lick, but he was a great guy to hang around. So kids out there, when somebody says, "Come to my house, we want to party," you never know who you're going to meet, where music's going to take you. This is Wolfman Grant coming to you from Collins Irish Pub, and I'll be seeing you next month. How long, children?